Hey, what's going on?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Nothing much except that we started the episodes the same exact way for, I guess, these three. Except for right now.
Forget what the adults expected. At least for us kids. These were supposed to be a fun couple of days where the cousins deepened their friendship. However, when we woke up, there was an unbelievably cruel reality waiting for us. George and Jessica. Oh shit, this is Badler.
Oh shit. George and Jessica were crying over Shannon and Cannon's death like a bunch of pussies. Whoa! What is this? This is awesome. Whoa, that's an awesome scene. Right now, everyone who was alive had gathered in the lobby on the first floor of the guest house. And there were 12 people there. Unbelievable, right? There were 18 until yesterday. And in one night, a third of that number had lost their lives. I eventually sobered up from my agitation, and, along with my lack of sleep from being woken up so early in the morning, I was beginning to feel a faint sense of unreality. I want to think this is some kind of bad dream. My cheap escapism is telling me that over and over. Maria had gone back to sleep on the sofa Rosa was sitting in. Rather than her having nerves of steel, she probably genuinely hadn't had enough sleep. The adults were holding items from what was apparently Grandfather's collection, short-barrel Winchester rifles. Apparently relics from a time he'd been obsessed with westerns. There were 4 guns altogether. Whoa, 4 guns altogether? Whoa, I didn't know that. Those have been split up among the 4 siblings. Uncle Kraus, Aunt Ava, my dad, and Aunt Rosa. Wait. So only the actual siblings have guns.
Mm-hmm.
Paper boxes filled with bullets lay on the table, and the siblings were silently loading them. It's a little scary, even though touching one of these, I get the feeling Dad's yell, "Don't touch that!" and hit me with the butt of the gun. Well, isn't that great? No matter how much you touch them, you won't be hit again. Ha 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 ha! Our father's dead! I can't believe it. To think that father would meet this kind of end.
Well, I never did expect Kinzo to die normally in his bed, but even so, it is too horrible.
Hey, I wonder if that really was his father. To think it might be a different person's corpse used as a substitute to trick us.
No, it was father, without a doubt. You saw his toes, right? Generally speaking, there aren't many humans with 6 toes on both feet.
But that's a devil's proof.
But that doesn't mean that such people don't exist.
Oh my god, literally using this argument.
I've heard that polydactyly isn't that rare a disease. He was a man who liked large-scale tricks, right? He might have obtained a corpse from somewhere that had the same number of toes on both feet. Ridiculous! Why would he do something like that?
I'd agree if it was a normal person, but this is father we're talking about. You can't be sure Kyrie's talking nonsense.
After all, burning a corpse makes it hard to identify. Still, there should be a few ways to examine him from his teeth and bone structure. If the police investigated, of course, they'd be able to know whose body it was right away.
The problem is that we need a telephone engineer more than the police right now. The boats probably won't come in this typhoon, so will they arrive tomorrow?
No, they'll come. They'll come through the typhoon, don't worry. Most likely, the boat will come again at 9 tomorrow. Then I believe we will be able to contact the police.
It's the same for us and the culprits. Until the typhoon passes, this island will be closed off. This entire island is a closed room. Just from a parent's conversation, you could probably figure out the general gist. But let's explain the situation anyway. First, early that morning, in various places throughout the mansion, a total of 6 corpses, including grandfather and all of the servants, had been found on one after another.
Let's check the tips.
Oh shit, tips. System.
Okay, you read Kinzo,
Tips.
and then I'll read the rest.
Alright. Ushio Kenzo. His body was found as a burnt corpse in the underground boiler's incinerator, same as the first time. No evidence of a struggle was found inside the incinerator, so it's probably reasonable to assume that he was burned after his murder. Exactly how he died. Too bad this time, it was game over right from the start.
Servant Genji. His body was found in the VIP room on the 2nd floor. The weapon used on him is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. To thank Genji for his many years of service, let us allow him to rest in the VIP room. Her corpse was found in the parlor on the 1st floor. The weapon used on her is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. Let Shannon have the parlor, with its wonderful view of the rose garden on sunny days. And Cannon's corpse was found with the gun and the spear too. But for Cannon, the chapel, let him continue to protect the Lord's precious place, even after death. So that's why there were only 5 doors, is because Cannon was in the chapel.
Yeah, okay.
Servant Goda. He was found in the waiting room. Then the room next to the study is fitting for him, considering how much he wanted to earn Kinzo's favor. The waiting room on the 3rd floor. Kumasawa. Her corpse was found in the guest room on the 2nd floor, same as the rest with the gun and the spear. This seldom used 2nd floor guest room was her secret napping spot.
Fucking lumbago or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
Alright. First, grandfather had been in the boiler room, completely burnt. The servants had died, each shut up in the rooms throughout the mansion that had magic circles drawn on them. The cause of death for the servants was uncertain, but according to Dr. Nanjo's diagnosis, there was a high likelihood that they had been stabbed by something like a spear, or possibly shot with a gun. That's why all the adults started arming themselves with Winchesters. And what made the situation even more chaotic was the fact that the telephones had become unusable. Also, how the fuck do you, they're either stabbed or they're shot? How the fuck? Wait. Those two aren't interchangeable with one another. You can't say that they were either shot or fucking stabbed, dude. You'll see a bullet, dude. It's easy. What the fuck? So, wait, nah. Were they shot or were they fucking stabbed?
They don't know.
Fuck. Dr. Nanjo's in on it, 100%.
Dr. Nanjo's in on it?
Huh?
You said Dr. Nanjo's in on it?
Yeah, because it's fucking he's retarded. Otherwise, it was unknown if lighting had caused them to break down or the culprit had broken them. What was? Oh, telephones, right. At any rate, since contact with the outside had cut off, we couldn't reach the police. So until the typhoon passes and a boat comes tomorrow morning, we'll have to protect ourselves. After all, Rokujima is now isolated by the typhoon, and just as we're stuck on the island, so is the culprit. It seemed that the adults had stayed up all night, holding the family conference in the mansion's dining hall the whole time. And yet the crime had occurred in the mansion, so right when the adults had been in an uproar over money, the murderer had been killing under the same roof. They say Aunt Natsui's been strict about locking the doors and windows at night, and yet some suspicious person had entered and left the mansion. The adults had decided that the inside of the mansion was too large to be safe, so they had pulled out the guns and moved to the guest house where we had been. Which brings us to the present. George had begged to see Shannon's corpse, but the adults had refused, saying that he mustn't do so until the police arrived. This wasn't just because they wanted to seal all the rooms to preserve the scene. After all, the culprit who had killed 6 people was wandering about the mansion. To the Yoshimiya family right now, the mansion that should have been their home was now a danger zone that an unknown murderer could enter and leave at will. After all, it's a huge mansion. There are plenty of blind spots and dark spaces, and it's too vast to guarantee absolute safety with this number of people. Relatively speaking, the guest house was much smaller. It had 2 above-ground stories, something like 10 or so rooms. Apparently, it had been originally constructed to serve as a small hotel. As part of the plan to turn this island into a resort, is there a fucking elevator or some shit in here then? So it was easier to know what was going on everywhere inside it, and it'd be easier to keep safe. So, okay, the fact that they mention that it's like a hotel, that was built to be a hotel, means that this has probably some applicability to the rooms. So, how do you move furniture into a fucking hotel?
How do you move furniture into a hotel?
Yeah, because that would give me an idea about how they would move the bodies around.
Oh, wouldn't they just carry the furniture in? They'd have a whole team of people. They'd have a they'd hire like moving vehicles and stuff, like moving companies.
All right,
to come and
I'll figure it out. So it was easier to know what was going on everywhere inside it, and it'd be easier to keep safe. It made for a good place to hole up in. Also, it was extremely likely that this mass murder of 6 people was a game. After all, the culprit had proclaimed so in a letter. I heard that a Western-style envelope with the family crest, just like the one Maria claimed to have received from Beatrice yesterday, had been found in the boiler room where the grandfather's corpse had been discovered. This was what the letter said, so that there would be no misunderstandings. The game I seek is for everyone to try and solve the riddle of the epitaph, not for you to try and catch me. If you don't solve the riddle, the pitiful sacrifices will further increase in number. It would be wiser to spend your time solving the epitaph instead of searching for me. If no one can solve the riddle, no one will survive. If a person appears who can miraculously solve it, I will give them all the gold of the Golden Land, the Ushirimiya family headship, and all of my power. I was the only one who succeeded the Ushirimiya family headship after Kinzo. I look forward to seeing who will succeed that headship after me. The Golden Witch Beatrice. This riddle of the epitaph was that thing. That strange epitaph written by the portrait of the witch on display in the hall of the mansion. Grandfather was the one who had it written, and the person who solved it would supposedly be given the inheritance or the hidden gold or something like that. Ever since it was first put on display there several years ago, the Rothers had secretly tried to solve the riddle, despite saying on the surface that the whole idea was silly. However, up until today, no one had solved it. We were once again being urged to solve that unintelligible riddle, and this time we were forced with the threat that we'd all be killed if we didn't solve it. If that wasn't a game, what else could be? The bold opinion that we should search the premises for a culprit did come up once. However, there was a good chance they were armed and there might not be just one of them. Oh shit. And while they might have been able to kill more than 6 people, they had stopped at 6. The opinion had won out in the end that we should avoid needlessly antagonizing the culprit and hole up in a safe place while we waited for the police to arrive. And so this is where we actually get to talk about the epitaph. Wow.
We haven't talked about it like at all.
Whoa. After the adults carefully checked the doors and windows in the guest house were locked, they set up camp in the lobby. As they loaded their guns to distract themselves from the tension, their expressions showed that they were already fatigued from this long day, which had still barely begun. There was nothing for me to do. Now all I could do was be taught how to use a gun, to prepare for the off chance of something happening that led to an excess of guns. I wonder why that was bolded. That's fine. Just obediently stay there. Me and the rest... What? That's fine. Just obediently stay there. Me and the rest of you. What? I don't understand what that meant.
Me and the rest of you.
Me and the rest of you.
Me and everybody else.
Okay. 6 people in the... Okay, so everyone's not... So everyone who could be the murderer is here. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
6 people in the beginning again. And this time it's grandfather and all of the servants put together.
Most likely, that child has carefully studied your moves from the last game and has made an optimal move by taking the pieces you are most likely to suspect from the start.
Fuck, dude! I feel dumb. That makes sense. That was true both last time and the time before that. The servants who knew everything about the mansion and who walk around with keys always fall into the most suspicious category of people. A good example in last game would be Jessica's closed room. If I'd only accept that a servant was the culprit, that wouldn't even have been a closed room.
And so, that child went straight for them, probably to block off a method of escape you'd be likely to attempt sooner or later.
Beato already proclaimed in red that there are no more than 18 people on this island. In other words, it's time to give up on that. Now I've got to suspect one of the 18. Yes, the entire... Yes. Fucking Butler, dude.
That child will probably come at you by stealing the pieces for all the 18, while also making an appearance as a 19th person who shouldn't exist. For then you would be forced to accept that your opponent is a witch. After all, now that the intimidation approach has failed, trying to force you to surrender by showing you magic, the only remaining option is a frontal attack.
Perfect. Bluffing won't work anymore.
Be careful. Deception is what witches are best at. No matter what your opponent says or shows you, it will not be able to threaten the truth that you believe in. Don't forget that.
Also, fucking Ronave actually hit the bodies, not Beatrice. I wonder if there's a difference then. Sure. As if I'd fall for the same moves over and over again. Come on out, Beatrice. Let's get started.
I am already seated at the table of the contest, and my turn is already complete. To think we would end up having Madam as our foe. This will not be easy, milady. Our moves would be read thoroughly. I care not. By now, teachers' moves are all old-fashioned classics. There is nothing to fear. So, just what moves can you make beyond the classics I taught you? I look forward to seeing, Beatrice. You okay with this, Battler? Can someone who denies witches really accept a witch as a strategist?
Your stupid provocation is pointless. This is my advisor. No, my second. That doesn't change one bit that this is a fist fight between you and me.
I understand. One as wobbly as yourself probably needs training wheels on his bicycle.
No, dude.
Do it.
I promise that I'm smart enough.
Do as you like. Come, let us begin. It's your turn.
Let's begin with the reconstruction of the crime scene. Virgil, quickly, please. I named him George, but I changed it to Virgil.
The first corpse discovered was Shannon's. She was found in the parlor on the first floor of the mansion. The door and windows were locked and a closed room was established.
Beato, I need some details. Let's reconfirm the definition of closed room.
Indeed. The term closed room refers to a room where the inside and the outside are completely cut off from each other. Naturally, it would be impossible to even affect things across that boundary line, much less enter or escape across it. This includes an all-inclusive denial of the existence of hidden doors, as well as all possibility of intervention from the outside. Henceforth, this shall be referred to as Beatrice's closed room definition.
Let's focus in a bit. How do you define all possibility of intervention from the outside?
I refer to all types of direct intervention from the outside, such as using a fishing line or a long, thin rod. In conclusion, there are no gaps in the doors and windows through which such tricks will work.
I wonder about that. Even if there wasn't a gap, you should be able to interfere with radio waves, like with a remote controller, right?
Very well. I'll add to this definition that interference due to radio waves and related methods of remote control shall be impossible.
What? There's also an extension telephone in the parlor. A device connected to that wouldn't count as a remote controller, right?
The phones are already unusable, are they not? Whatever. I'll include that too. All direct and indirect methods of interfering with the inside of the closed room from the outside of the room are impossible.
What about a voice or a knock? Those should be able to interfere from the outside without entering the room, right?
Even though it's a closed room, it probably isn't impossible for someone to knock or call out. The closed room definition does not cover whether transmission of intent across the boundary is possible or not.
In other words, you can't make it so your definition includes the blockage of all methods of communication with the outside.
That is indeed the case.
Understood. So Shannon's parlor satisfies Beatrice's closed room definition, right?
Correct.
Say it in red. Closed room definition. Understood. Continue, Virgil.
Oh. Yes.
Oh.
Shannon's corpse was in possession of one master key. The relatives who discovered her collected this.
Beato, repeat it. How many master keys this time?
Humph. The same as last time. There are 5, one for each servant.
Which means this still isn't a closed room. There are still 4 master keys left. It just means after Shannon was murdered, one of the 4 keys locked it.
Correct. And it wasn't only a master key that was found. Yes. Alongside the corpse, there was a western envelope with the family crest. Instead of a letter, the key to a guest room on the 2nd floor was inside it.
The key to a 2nd floor guest room. The only key other than the master key that can open the door to the 2nd floor guest room. Is that definition correct?
Indeed, there is no problem, and unlike the master keys, only one of those exists. In other words, apart from the 5 master keys, there would be only one key that can unlock certain rooms.
In other words, this is a message telling them to go to the 2nd floor guest room next, so the adults move to the 2nd floor guest room, right?
Yes. The door to the 2nd floor guest room was locked and a magic circle was drawn on it. The relatives unlocked it with the key they had found near Shannon's corpse. Inside, Kumasawa's corpse was discovered. It was a closed room, one that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Kumasawa was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And like in Shannon's case, there was a western envelope discovered alongside her. Inside was the key to the 3rd floor waiting room. The relatives moved to the 3rd floor waiting room.
So there was a magic circle at the door to the 3rd waiting room, and that door was locked?
Yes. Inside the room, Goda's corpse was discovered. The room was a closed room, one that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Goda was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And like up until now, a western envelope with a family seal was discovered, inside of which was the key to the 2nd floor VIP room. The relatives moved to the 2nd floor VIP room.
What's going on here? What are you planning?
There's no need to glare, is there? It may be a closed room, but there are still multiple master keys that can open it, correct? And besides the master keys, I've even given you keys specific to each room.
I don't like where this is going, but I'm starting to see how it'll turn out. So it continues like this for all 6 people?
Yes, that is correct. Inside the second floor VIP room, Genji's corpse was discovered. 1 master key was collected. The key to the underground boiler room was discovered. They moved to the underground boiler room. Inside the underground boiler room, Kinto's corpse was discovered. The key to the chapel was discovered. They moved to the chapel. Inside the chapel, Cannon's corpse was discovered. 1 master key was collected. The key to the first floor parlor was discovered. With this, our reconstruction of how all 6 corpses were discovered is complete. An addendum. Along with the key to the chapel, a letter was enclosed in the western envelope found near Kinzo's corpse. The contents of the letter were as you saw. It further urged the relatives to solve the riddle of the epitaph.
In that case, what's going on? If the last place where Cannon was had the key to the very first room, the parlor was oh my god, Balor's why is Balor so stupid? That makes 6 closed rooms all tied together, right?
That is correct. The 6 closed rooms are all tied together. The keys to unlock each one are all shut up inside the next room. In other words, the 6 closed rooms form one massive closed room, and all of the master keys as well as the individual room keys are shut up inside it. Furthermore, all of the doors and windows on the 6 rooms are normal. No device exists which can lock them without a key, such as an auto lock. What do you think? It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Once again, my lady, that is not dignified. When Ronave rebuked her, Beato stuck her tongue at him without showing any signs of shame. Sorry. Playing with Battler just put me into such a good mood. So, Battler, what do you think of my move? If you can't think of anything in particular, I wouldn't mind showing you how I made the goats carry the corpses, and seal all of the rooms with magic, okay?
Do what you want. I will listen respectfully to this magic theory that you claim is true. However, I can claim my human theory, even though it's completely different from yours without any interference from your claim. In other words, there's no need for me to pay attention to your bullshit. Go ahead and show me how you can lock the door with your multicolored magic, simply by waving your magic staff. Just like those guys with their toy load and all-purpose kitchen knives. Virgil, let's reconstruct the crime scene. Search for a weakness. Were they all definitely dead? If one of them is just plain dead, this isn't a closed room at all.
There we go. Nanjo confirmed that all of them were dead. However, due to the devil's proof, it is impossible to deny the possibility of a wrong diagnosis. In other words, that child cannot make the likelihood that Nanjo overlooked them being alive equal to 0.
Here it is, that devil's proof, but there exists a sword that can carve that up.
Hempel's Raven? Well, what's up with them?
Yep.
I said Hempel's Raven? Looks like they're having a good time, leaving me out of the discussion. I'm his opponent, am I not? Doesn't he have any time to spare for me? Fucking asshole battler. Fundamentally speaking, communication with one's opponent is not necessary to the act of competing in chess. Every time you've communicated with him outside of making your moves, you've used that opportunity to confuse him. Perhaps this is the result of him not wanting to be led astray. For some reason, I don't like it. You are challenging him to a chess match, are you not? That's true, but... Gah. Beatrice puffed out her cheeks as though to say, I don't know why, but I don't like it.
She's just being ignored, dude. She's tsundere.
Because the police have not yet arrived at the crime scene, the human side's ability to inspect the scene is limited. For strict confirmation of death, I recommend that you have that child repeat it in red.
Okay, that's where I'll strike. Repeat it. The 6 victims are all dead.
No.
I wouldn't.
Brady, he has told you to repeat something in red, has he not?
Hey, enough lazing around. Do you refuse to repeat it? This is where a battle starts.
What? Oh! Sorry, that's fine. I'll answer. These 6 are all dead. Kinzo, Genji, Shannon, Kanon, Goda, and Kumasawa.
Why are you so out of it? Okay, so I've already got one out of you. We'll start by denying that classic trick where all the victims are playing dead.
I won't go easy on you anymore. Come at me how you like. I'll slice them slantwise one after another.
Then repeat this. No one is hiding in any of the 6 rooms. Let's see you deny the existence of people we aren't aware of.
I'll answer. There is no one hiding in the 6 rooms.
Okay, now I'm sure it's only the 6 of them in the can, and they aren't pretending to be dead.
What will you do? What will you do? As if a human could manage anything by now. Obediently kneel to the fact that I can control locks at will with my wonderful magic, okay?
Quit babbling. Repeat this, too. The 6 deaths were instant deaths.
Instant deaths? What do you mean by that?
Instant deaths.
6 deaths? It means there's a possibility that a single victim on the verge of death managed to escape into the room, and after locking it from the inside to create a closed room, they passed away.
Oh, shit.
Humph. A classic closed room murder trick. One requiring that the victim receive a fatal wound and then die later. It is possible for a closed room to be constructed unexpectedly if the victim holds up inside the room to escape the murderer, and then dies after locking the door. In order to deny that possibility, you will need to proclaim that the 6 died instantly with the red truth. Very well, I'll slay you with my red treasured sword. The 6 died instantly. By died instantly, I mean the targets instantly became something.
Incapable of action after being attacked.
Incapable of action after the fact. Well, it might still have taken them several seconds or minutes to die in the complete sense of the word, but regardless, it was completely impossible for them to take any actions of their own will. In that sense, I can confirm that skipped way too fast.
They suffered instant death.
They suffered instant death.
Up until this point, I've been checking for the classic tricks. Now's when our showdown over the closed rooms really starts.
Oh,
okay?
really? Shit.
Yeah. Balor's a little on the slow side. If the culprit isn't on the inside, they're on the outside. So they somehow killed from outside the rooms, dude.
Have you lost your mind? After all, a closed room equals murder is impossible from the outside, right? That's why only a magical murder would be possible.
Not if you use a fucking RC robot to do sick loop-de-loops and hit someone in the fucking head with a Tonka truck.
No, you can't use any remote control thing.
Oh shit, I thought they said you could do that.
No, you couldn't. Well,
No radio waves, dude?
what they said you could do was you could knock on the door, or you could yell, but you couldn't do anything else really.
Okay. No, that's wrong. The right approach is a murder really happened means it is in a closed room. No matter how much you try to trick me, this definitely isn't a closed room. It's a shim that only looks like one. Yes, exactly.
However,
Finally.
however, Battler, only the victims are inside the rooms, and no other people exist inside the rooms. And by Milady's closed room definition, remote murders from outside the room have been clearly denied, have they not?
Wait, the definition of remote murders is pretty broad, right? It's not just about pulling a fishing line from outside the room and strangling the victim inside the room. For example, a trap would make for an excellent remote murder.
A trap? Oh, and what might that be?
Just as an example, let's say they were instructed to enter rooms that someone had picked out beforehand, and lock the doors from the inside to create closed rooms themselves. A trap was set in those rooms that they didn't know about, and that's what killed them. How's that? That doesn't contradict anything.
There are no problems. It corresponds to the existing state. There are no problems on our side either. It does not conflict with Milady's closed room definition. What's with that stupid reasoning? Nothing suspicious was found in any of the rooms, right? What form did that trap have? Where was it hidden and how did it operate? Explain that for all 6 of them, in the parlor, the guest room, the waiting room, the VIP room, the boiler room, and the chapel. Well, you can't, can you?
I refuse to counter that. There's no need for me to explain, and failing to do so doesn't change my claim.
What did you say? Beatrice is a devil's proof. The fact that he cannot explain the nature of the trap does not in itself deny the existence of such a trap. Well done. While overbearing, a wonderful move. This guy's getting completely used to this.
Dude, okay, give me a second. That's literally not even a good argument. It's actually stupid.
It's stupid?
All he's doing is creating a fucking story that he's like, I'm gonna support it because devil's proof. That's all Battler just did there. But in reality, it's probably more like, okay, the guy actually had the keys. He didn't like do it in order. He actually like had the master keys, set all the keys up, and then like, I don't know, did something with them. I don't know how he did it.
Well, wait, how would they have locked the door from the outside then?
Doesn't the boiler room have like an exit?
The boiler room does have a back exit, but what about the other 4 or the other 5?
Well, he could have just ended at the boiler room.
He could have ended at the boiler room, but then how would?
Yeah.
So he could.
He killed a person.
Okay.
So all the keys are
okay.
gone.
So think of one room as its own thing. Okay. How does he? Even if this was just the one locked room, let's say we're talking about the parlor with Shannon. How was he able to leave the key to the parlor? Oh wait, with the master keys. But Kinzo in the boiler room, he doesn't have a master key. And the only key that was left in there was the key to the chapel. So
So then it could just be moved back one spot. So maybe he actually like So maybe he.
So no. What could have happened is Oh wait, I'm not sure if that works because I was going to say that he could have just locked Cannon in and then went back and did that to and put Kinzo in the boiler room and then ended with Kinzo. But and if he had the key to the chapel, but how does he unlock? Oh yeah, how does he lock the door to the boiler room like the other door though?
So all the keys
would be at that point. All of the keys would be inside of the servant rooms that are already locked, and they wouldn't have any keys that they could lock the boiler room with then.
And all 5 master keys weren't there, or were on the bodies.
What?
Meaning, fuck. I don't know. I know that there's probably a way to do it with logic. Let's just continue. Actually,
Okay.
I'll solve this on my own. I'll solve it on my own. I don't need you. All right. Check. Due to murder trap X that we couldn't find, it'd be possible to establish this closed room murder.
I'll kill that check with the red truth.
Wow.
The 6 were not killed by traps.
Wait, but does that mean traps the guys who look like girls, or traps as in...
Well,
he's
about to ask the definition of a trap is. So.
Yep, and the definition of trap?
Oh, that's it. Something that activates when a victim triggers it on their own. Oh, and that's not all. It also includes things activated by remote control or by a timer. Everything of that sort. Pukuku. So it refers to all arrangements that could carry out a murder without the direct participation of the one who planned it out. Perhaps we might sum it up that way. How's that? I've struck back. As if I'd let a human crush this closed room.
You're looking pretty frantic to win, too.
No. What?
No.
What do you mean?
You're frantically fighting to make me accept your existence. Until now, I thought I was just being toyed around by you. What? I thought I was just being toyed around with by you one-sidedly. Fucking retarded.
What?
But that's not actually true.
It says...
You're also frantically...
Oh, shit. Fuck. Let me just scroll. Until now, I thought I was just being toyed around with by you one-sidedly. That makes sense.
Yeah. I couldn't read that. Because my brain's fucking retarded, dude. But that's not actually true. You're also frantically resisting my counters, fighting to show that you exist. Now, I finally really feel that it's true. This isn't torture inflicted on me, and whether I'll surrender or not. This is a fight between you and me on an even footing. Okay, now it's starting to get interesting, isn't it? All 6 died in the closed rooms, and no outsiders were inside. And that was no meddling from the outside, and also no trap. Until now, I'd probably start suspecting this had to be the work of magic. And if you decide to show off some bizarre magic at this point, I might even have surrendered. It's that favorite strategy of yours. You intercept all my moves, and in the moment, I've exhausted all opinions and fallen to my knees. When my heart's barriers are at their weakest, you show some strange magic and take the game all at once.
No.
No?
That short temper...
No?
That short temper is something this child has always had, along with a bad habit of rushing things when victory is in sight. After all, milady cannot stand putting off a match. Hey, shut up. It's Battler's turn, right? I finished off that trap piece you advanced. What should I repeat next? Show me what you've got.
Right. Now that even traps have been defeated, this looks like a perfect closed room murder at a glance. And that's why I'll spin the chessboard around right now.
Chessboard thinking.
Chessboard thinking.
Here it comes, that special technique of yours. How exactly are you going to spin what around? Try showing me.
Yeah, I'll show you. I don't need to think of how 6 people could be killed inside closed rooms from the outside. It's useless. It's useless. It's all useless. That's right, the question isn't how you can kill from the outside the rooms. The point is how they died inside the rooms, making them... Wait, they didn't have to die inside the closed rooms. Right? You can move bodies.
Well, she said that they died instantly.
They died... Yeah, but just because they died instantly doesn't mean that you can't move the body after they're dead.
Oh, yeah, they could have moved the body after they're dead. Yeah. But,
So they didn't necessarily die inside the rooms.
Well, they didn't necessarily die inside the room. They could have been carried.
Yeah, okay. Then, the point is how they died inside the rooms, making them closed rooms. That's it! This is the answer. If you assume that one of the 6 victims was the culprit, this closed room can be explained but extremely easily.
What?
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking this entire time.
Ridiculous! I believe I clearly said in red that the 6 of them were dead.
Alright, and that's when I stopped thinking about it. Oh, there were 6 deaths. 5 were victims who got killed. But if you assume that one person committed oh shit, Kinzo committed suicide. Fuck, dude. But if 5 were victims who got killed. But if you assume that the other person committed suicide, you can destroy this closed room.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes a lot of... Fuck, that's... Oh,
yeah,
shit.
You see, Battler is smarter than you.
Fuck, dude, no! Dude, he said what he was thinking faster than I said.
Certainly. If the culprit locked themselves in the final closed room, and they threw away their own life, this closed room chain would be established. The suicide of the culprit. Normally it would be an unthinkable move, but the argument that the unthinkable cannot exist cannot be used. And he had no responsibility to demonstrate a motive. A truly powerful move, which can only be used in a chess match against a witch. Well, one cannot be certain that there was no motive. For example, it has been announced that Kinzo only had a short time left to live. Perhaps he did not regret losing his short remaining life and used his own death to send a message. It might be possible to attach such a motive. Milady, it is our turn. Indeed. To think you trample even the dignity of the dead to create a culprit. What a heartless, cold-blooded man.
I'll set up the dead as the culprit. This worse than inhumane move is one used to attack Cannon in the last game. Even though the games are different, I'm taking a shot back at you with this move, as a tribute to Cannon for that time. Just now I freed that Cannon from his regrets.
What a nice guy.
Wait, what did Cannon do?
In the second game, Jessica died and Cannon's body was disappeared. So Rosa thought that Cannon was the killer.
Oh, right. Okay.
Gah. You have no responsibility to hold back here. You should try to confirm that suicide wasn't the cause of any of their deaths. I recommend that you have that child repeat it in red.
Right, but suicide's a naive word that won't corner her. Beato, this'll stop you. Repeat it! The 6 deaths were all homicides.
That is painful. Oh.
What's wrong? All 6 of them were killed, right? I'm just confirming that simple premise we've had from the very beginning, right? Can't you repeat it?
Humph. I refuse to repeat it. There's no reason in particular.
You realize that refusing to repeat this part is the same as resigning, right? Checkmate. One of the 6 was the culprit, and they planned to commit suicide after constructing the closed room. That's all.
Wait. No, I'll say it. I'll use the red like you want. None of the 6 committed suicide.
Fuck.
How's that? Are you satisfied? I've struck back.
What the hell? So you can say it. But that's strange. Why are you so panicky?
It's your imagination. This time, even I'm feeling the pressure. That's right, I don't have any leeway. Pay it no mind. The line...
Yeah.
The line... The line you asked that child to repeat had been altered. Do not be food. Poo. It seems not to have worked, my lady.
That's right. She didn't say the 6 deaths were all homicides. She changed it to none of the 6 committed suicide. Which means one of them wasn't killed by someone else and didn't commit suicide. I've got it. This is the truth. Culprit X, who was hiding among the 6, murdered the other 5, then set up a closed room. After that, they planned to escape from or hide in that room by some method. However, they got in an accident. The culprit died from an accident that even they hadn't expected, setting up a closed room murder that even they hadn't desired. Now it's over, Beatrice. Checkmate.
Kinzo accidentally fell into the boiler.
I mean, that's the only one that could really be considered an accident.
Damn it! Did you think I'd be cornered by something like that? I'd never announce my resignation over something like that. I'll slice up that foolish checkmate with my red treasured sword over and over again. None of the 6 died in an accidental... Mga? My apologies. We request some time to strategize. Please allow us a brief postponement on this matter. It's a fair request. Perhaps you should accept it.
Sure, take a break. I've been giving those 2 a lot lately. Now it's your turn to take one.
Thank you very much. Come, lady, this way, and let us quietly count to 100 inside our heads. Runaway quickly covered beat. Oh wait, it's still you. Shit.
Ronovic quickly covered Beato's mouth with his hand as she grew thoroughly panicked and agitated, suspending the game. He pulled Beato away, supposedly to hold a strategy conference. Well, so someone may have died in an accidental way. Okay. Damn. That demon butler. When Beato got all hot, I skipped that. Okay.
I had a perfect chance to corner her.
Yeah, that one. Beato normally acted like she was graceful and above it all, but she actually had a really short temper and got mad easily. Her usual intellect had less of a voice when she got excited.
Runaway certainly is thinking clearly. He probably gave your opponent some time to cool down. That shell grew too stubborn trying to remove your check, and was about to easily let several large pieces go. After all, the first twilight is only a skirmish. The correct move at that time would have been to withdraw.
So what does it mean? Did I reach checkmate or didn't I?
That child was about to say something in red. You probably wouldn't have reached checkmate yet, but most likely, you can expect our opponents to resign once they've cooled their heads.
You're joking, even though she hates losing that much?
Yes. In a losing battle, it is essential to withdraw your troops as soon as possible to try and minimize their losses. The difficult part is gauging whether it's a losing battle or not. Your opponent's butler seems to have calmly made that decision.
Oh well, in other words, she managed to escape by a hair's breadth. Getting checkmate and delivering the final blow won't be that easy for me.
However, you should count this as your victory. It seems they barely managed to prevent a large loss, but they certainly sustained considerable damage. The scale of that child's panic ought to make the depth of that wound quite clear to you.
Seriously, it feels like she'd start crying if I bullied her anymore.
Well, they're back.
Oh, that's you. Wait. Is that me?
That's you.
Do I read?
Yeah, that's you.
As we talked, Ronavate returned with Beata, who wore a meek expression. She didn't yet have her usual bold smile, but it looked like the blood wasn't rushing to her head anymore. Hey, it's your turn. Do you decide on your next move?
I resign. For now, I will let you have your victory.
Beata told me that frankly. It seemed that she'd taken a far-sighted view, as though saying, if you want to laugh, then laugh. It was a bit of a killjoy, and I lost my desire to deliver the final blow. Well, now that you've resigned, that just means we're even, since my theory and yours can't deny each other. You should treat it more like a tie than a loss.
I don't need your disgusting sympathy. I'm telling you that I lost this round. When you find a dog drenched with rain, do you have a sudden urge to whack it with a stick or something?
Nope. I'm not you.
Oh.
Even though she ridiculed me horribly, when I showed signs of defeat, this is the best she's got when the tables are turned. I did feel that was pretty cowardly of her, but I decided to act with dignity as the victor and let it slide. Beata resigned. That's the one result of the first twilight. Beatrice couldn't counter my move of one of the 6 was the culprit, and that person died in an accident. No, she probably could have countered it, but for some strategic reasons, she admitted defeat. It felt less like I'd won, and more like I'd let her slip away at the last second. In a chess match with a witch, battles can be fought solely with pieces known as X, which require no detailed explanations. Thanks to the devil's proof, I could create as many strange fictions as I wanted and use them as fighters in our argument. But that only works in a chess match with a witch. In our human world, you can't use such abstract theories to explain things. This first twilight was a chain of 6 closed rooms. It certainly may have been possible for a human. Beata wasn't able to deny all possibilities. However, I don't have a clue who committed the crime, or why or how they did it. It may seem strange to hear me saying this after I won, but for some reason I felt like I'd have been more satisfied if Beatrice had been able to say definitely that it was impossible for humans. I managed to avoid using specifics using an abstract piece called X, but I couldn't deny the sense that some eerie intent that must never be known was filling up this entire mansion. That Beatrice was actually not real. Whoa.
Okay.
Damn, dude.
Is the clock gonna change?
So yeah. Where does the clock change, dude?
It doesn't change. It just stays at 9.
Yeah. Wasn't it 7 last time though?
Oh yeah, but time passed.
Okay. Cool, dude.
It still looks pretty dark there, though, but that's probably because of the typhoon.
Yeah, probably. Oh, shit. Yeah, probably.
So it looks like it's not with the witches anymore. It looks like they're probably going to talk about the epitaph in this one.
Good. So I think it was Kinzo who fucking, you know, he made some sort of mistake.
And he fell. I was thinking of that, but the only problem with that is that it would have to be one of the servants because Kinzo doesn't have a master key. And the other servants wouldn't have been able to lock the door.
Couldn't he just do everything, get back to the boiler room to fake his own death? And
well, no, because he doesn't have a master key, so he wouldn't have been able to have locked the last door.
Well, he could have. Well, the door
would have had
could
to have been a servant.
But it could be unlocked from the outside, and then he returned to it, and then he locked it from the inside, the boiler room.
Well, he would have been able to lock the boiler room from the inside, but I'm saying that he wouldn't have been able to lock the last room that he did, because he didn't have a master key.
Oh. Okay, yeah, now I see what you're saying.
Unless it was the chapel, I guess. Yeah, he would have been able to lock if he did the chapel last, he had the chapel key. So yeah, actually, now that I think about it...
Oh, yeah. What the fuck am I saying? Yeah,
yeah,
he definitely could have done that.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm retarded. Jesus Christ. I can't believe I almost let that slip. You had to catch that, or else I would be like, well, I'm stuck. So yeah, I think that theory holds up pretty nicely, actually.
Yeah, but that doesn't help with the rest of the story. If Kinzo's the culprit, he's dead now. If the next person dies...
I mean, yeah, but we got the first part figured out.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking Nanjo.
Nanjo. I hope he dies next.
Fuck. So, okay, it's either going to be Nanjo or... I don't know if children, like... I don't think they kill people. George and Jessica definitely wouldn't kill their own, lovers. Battler is the main character. Maria is a child. So yeah, that just leaves the 7 adults. Or 6 adults. Or fucking 8 adults. Jesus Christ.
It just leaves what?
And then Beatrice doesn't exist. Because there's no 19th person. Alright. Well, that's the end, I guess. I think... What the fuck?
Hey, what were you saying?
Okay, I literally just explained who could be the killer. And then, yeah.
Who's the killer?
All the adults, possibly.
Nanjo, okay.
Nanjo and then all the adults. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I guess that's the end.
Yep.
Of this one. So, alright, see you boys later.
Goodbye.